Edan Lepucki. Edan?
I'm going to read my story, or the beginning of my story, Take Care of That Rage Problem. It's from the new issue of McSweeney's. I think it's going to take 4 minutes and 40 seconds. It was police brutality, her mother said. There's nothing more offensive to a man than a woman who used to be beautiful. They can see what they missed, and it stings them, and they seek retribution. But indecent exposure, Molly asked. They were pulling out of the station parking lot. How could you? I didn't, Gertrude cried. I was itching. You know how itchy I get. Molly didn't answer, though yes, she knew this, her mother's issue, what she'd give not to. I didn't think anyone would see me. At that hour, the roads around there are deserted. This was true. Her mother had been picked up after midnight on the east side. No one had been on that strip of Bonnie Brae but her, she said. Even the food vendors had gone home. And so, as she passed beneath a busted street light, she had slipped her hand beneath her waistband. No harm and a little relief. He called me dirty, her mother said. She meant the cop. That day, someone in New York had planted a car bomb. It hadn't worked. The car had been smoking, witnesses said. Someone, some brave soul, had peered into the car's windows. He could have lost his face, Molly thought. How much you want to bet it's a white guy who planted it? Sam had asked her a few hours before. They were on their computers on opposite sides of the couch. Only a white guy from the Midwest would have messed that one up. That was when her mother had called from the police station. She needs me to kill a spider, Molly had lied, putting on her flip-flops, and Sam had believed her. When she'd left, he was still scrolling through the news stories. Now it was after 2 a.m, and Sam would know Molly hadn't been killing anything. What were you doing out this late anyway? She asked her mother. They were on 3rd, where sewage work had whittled the road down to a single lane. Her mother was sitting up straight, 2 manicured fingers curled around the dry cleaning hook, her gaze hard and focused on the stoplight. In the last few years, she had trouble keeping off weight in her midsection. She complained about it all the time, and now her round belly protruded against the strap of her seatbelt like a marsupial pouch. Gertrude bobbed her chin, still looking straight ahead, and Molly realized her mother was embarrassed. She was trying to summon some dignity. It's green, Gertrude said, and Molly lifted her foot off the brake. Molly hadn't spoken to her father in months, not since he'd moved into a bland one-bedroom apartment in West Hollywood. The divorce had been his decision, a whim, really. He wanted to be on his own, fancy-free, exploring the world and himself. Now he parked in an underground garage, and at night, alone, her mother blocked her front door with a dining room chair. Sam and Molly had been living together for 3 days when her parents broke up. There were still unpacked boxes in every room. In the hallway, they'd stored a pallet's worth of toilet paper. Every time she passed it, Molly found herself hoping for some kind of natural disaster. It was sick, she knew, but she felt prepared. They had provisions. Her mother had been hard to understand that afternoon on the phone. Gertrude was crying, and Sam was drilling shelves into the bedroom wall, cursing every few moments. He's taking the credenza, she said between sobs, while Sam swore. Molly had to wave at him to stop before she could coax the whole story out. And then, when the whole story was out, her father had left, he was taking the credenza, he was an asshole. She wished it weren't. He said he doesn't love me, her mother said. He says I'm unlovable. These words had choked her. Molly's father always had a gift for erasing her mother down to a little nub. She recalled distinctly the time he'd told Gertrude she didn't have the body for the black leggings she'd been wearing all summer long. He'd said it during a dinner party in front of their friends. It was true, the leggings were made for teenagers, but her mother had loved them. Afterward, Gertrude had hidden in the guest bedroom and sobbed, and Molly, age 13, had delivered her a glass of Prosecco because she knew her mother wouldn't turn that down. Moving in with Sam was not supposed to begin like this. Her parents were across town. They were supposed to be there together in the old house, coping however they saw fit. Molly was busy. Molly was moving in with her boyfriend. In her mind, she and Sam were putting away their belongings. They were organizing their library, getting rid of duplicate books. They were cooking a simple meal and eating it on paper plates. They were learning to share a life. Molly had her own world to manage. How could she be expected to maintain anyone else's? Thank you.